Open your own treasure house. Daiju visited the master Baso in China. Baso asked, "What do you seek?" "Enlightenment," replied Daiju. "You have your own treasure house. Why do you search outside?" Baso asked. Daiju inquired, "Where is my treasure house?" Baso answered, "What you are asking is your treasure house." Daiju was enlightened. Ever after he urged his friends, "Open your own treasure house and use those treasures." The Zen story, so deeply ingrained into the thoughts of our Indian culture, and it was so beautifully rooted, and that rooting is what we call our family. That rooting is what we call our joint family. That rooting is what we call our family tree. Well, now I think the government department asks, draw your family tree. If you want to sell a property, where is the family tree? Drawing of the family, yes. That family tree. What? That 600 years of the Muslim invasion and the 200 years of the British or the Christian invasion and the suppression of the Indian community has confused and created a chaos. Why the chaos and the confusion came? It is not because of the Muslim invasion 600 years back or the Christian invasion through the British 200 years back. It is because our own joint family, the head of the family, started taking things for granted. Like at present, the company heads takes the workers for granted and the strike erupts. Likewise, the husband took the wife for granted, the wife took the husband for granted. Trouble started, then the divorce, then the fight in the courts, then the psychiatrist and the middleman, everything comes in between. The chaos and the confusion happened when the family tree or the joint family were not willing to decentralize their jobs. If you decentralize and give the jobs, what beauty you could have seen. Every person in that family, if they have practiced that Samskriti early morning compulsory, then it becomes a way of that early morning practicing went wrong. The early morning when you get up, everybody is present for looking into the sunlight and doing that Surya Namaskar. That Surya was 12 steps of stretching out the body, and everybody listening and doing together and moving to different parts to take care of their own system. Once they understood the Surya Namaskar, the asana part, the body which is stretched, the spinal column has got its flexibility and no excess fat, the body is trimmed beautifully. You are not carrying the waste in your body. And then you understood the pranayama, how to control the breath. If you do not know how to control the breath will control you. The day the breath controls you means the day you do not practice, a devil control you. And then you started taking things for granted. The day you started things for granted, you should know it started stinking, because when you started taking your wife for granted, husband for granted, the family and the family tree for granted, your bum starts stinking because you are sitting continuously in one place, and you can see the bum becoming bigger and bigger, the stomach becoming bigger and bigger, and what comes from these two is the stink from your mouth. Whatever you speak is not the gospel of truth, but the gospel of lies. You knew that, but you continue to follow that path. That is the only one thing. Daiju visited the master Baso in China. Baso asked, "What do you seek?" The master asked, "What do you want? What are you seeking?" Means a person who is a seeker and a follower, please make sure that they're two different. Baso asked, "What do you seek? What do you follow in us?" Every time when you go to a person, they ask, "What is your religion?" Means what religion you follow? What caste you follow? follows a blind faith. They just hold on to somebody else. When there is no money, try to put your hand into somebody else's pocket, and then the people call you pickpocket. Baso asked, what do you seek? He asked, what do you seek means you have already trained, your Samskriti is already there. And then you are seeking deeper, for you are passionately in love to find out if you have a community and how best you can create that community with the best facilities. That is what Baso. What do you seek? You can ask only a person who is, otherwise you can ask, what is your religion? What is your name? The moment you see somebody ask, what is your name? From where do you come from? When people ask me, I used to tell those days, nameless, where do you come from? I said, do you know from where you come from? If you know from where you come from, exactly from that place is where I also come from. That was a joke different. Baso asked, what do you seek? Baso did not ask, what is your name? To ask a person, Baso knows he must have come from a family, yes. He has come from a family means his body has been trimmed beautifully. Yes, his body is shining because he has done his Samskriti. He is a hard worker. You can see, looking at him, you can see the veins and all jerking out. He must have been a hard practitioner who loved his body, created a magnetic force in his body, created this body which God has given. He has maintained the body. Once you know to maintain the body through your physical exercise, through your hard labor, and then the breath you controlled, you control your mind to ask a question. You know whom to ask, whom not to ask. You know whom to respect, whom not to respect. You know when your volume should be high or low. Now, in this city, everybody's volume, they do not know. All volumes are loose motions. They do not know whom to fold hands, whom to respect, whom not to respect. It has reached that stage, and the company hates taken things for granted. They are also thinking, yeah, this is a good strategy. When they have no discipline, when they do not respect anything, then I can make them a slave because they will not have anybody behind them to support. Baso asked, what do you seek? Enlightenment, replied Daijo. Yes, enlightenment. When he had varieties of satoris, satoris happens only when you work very, very hard. You've got every time. Satori means an orgasmic experience of happiness that you found something. You have seen the small seed turning into a plant, and the plant growing to give flowers, and the flowers giving in seeds, and from the seeds you make the food, and you supply to the people. That enjoyment, enlightenment, replied Daijo. You have your own treasure house, said Baso. Why do you search outside, Baso? You have your own treasure house, you have everything, you have made your body so strong, and why are you searching outside? Like the grandmother's story yesterday, I said, she was searching something outside. I went and asked the grandmother, what are you searching? She said, I lost a needle, I'm searching for a needle. Then I asked the grandmother, can I ask you, where did you lose your needle? And the granny told me, I lost my needle in my room. Then I asked Granny, if you lost the needle in the room, why are you searching outside? She told me, because there is no light inside the room, I'm searching outside. You forgot there is no light inside the house. So you have a light. To have the light, to understand the light, you have to work hard to see. You are a deepa. You are a light unto yourself. Yes. And you have to only look inside. Once you look inside, you do not have to search outside. Hence, Baso said, you have your own treasure house. You are a power. It is worth in millions. Can I buy your eyes for $1,00,000? When the beggar went to the king and said, I am a beggar. You said this is Ramarajya. And look at me, I am pathetically poor. This is Ramarajya. I am a beggar. King said, 1 minute, shut your mouth. You're non-stop talking. Can I find out treasure in your house, in your body? It's a treasure with me. Don't make fun of me. And the king said, suppose I offer you 1 lakh rupees or 100,000 US dollar for eyes. Will you sell your eyes? And the king said, oh, eyes, 100,000 US dollar. Without eyes, what's the use of this money? That way, you have your own treasure house, pointed at the Baso. Baso is pointing, you have so powerful thing, and you are not, when you do not use it, then you cannot call God, you cannot go and beg God, you cannot go to the temple and church and masjid to pray, God, kapadi, bachao, help me, save me. No, God will help you and save you. Only devils will come in between, because devils know you are simply stupid. You are a sitting duck. You can be cheated, you can be robbed, you can be backstabbed, and you can be also trained to do the same thing. You have your own treasure house. Why do you search outside? Baso asked. Daiju inquired, where is my treasure house? Then Daiju asked, where is my treasure house? I have my beautiful body, I have got my beautiful intelligence, everything, but I'm not happy. That is, I'm not happy. I forgot to see. Baso answered, what you are asking is your treasure house. Where is my treasure house? He said, that, put it back. I have not taken. You ask yourself where. Like Ramana said, keep asking you, who am I? Who am I? Here is telling, ask, where is the treasure house? Where is the treasure house? You are a treasure himself, and you are sitting on the treasure house, and you forgot to dig and find out. Digging means you practice. When sweat comes, yes, in Kannada we say Bevru. For sweat we call it Bevru. Bevru Bandilandi, you are called Bevru. See means if you don't sweat a day, then you become stupid. Bevru means stupid or idiotic, a very dirty language in Kannada. But that dirty is very, very important for me, because it is a beautiful philosophy for me to connect the Bevru to Bevrasi. Yes, you have to sweat. When you sweat, you understand your treasure, the value. Baso answered, what you are asking is your own treasure house. Daiju was enlightened. Suddenly Daiju understood, if you are conscious, otherwise you keep on asking, go to another master, go to another master. Like Vivekananda kept on asking many masters. Only thing is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa went a little wrong. He said, a seed and all. He said, is there God? He said, where there is treasure? Same. Instead of Vivekananda asking where there is a treasure house, Vivekananda asked, where is the God? Can you show me the treasure? And said, the treasure is with you. He said, a seed, you have to put it in the plant. Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa should have asked Vivekananda, the God is inside you. You are the seed. Put it up, and then feel, smell, taste, touch, and see, and that itself is God. Forget about that one. Daiju was enlightened because Daiju was ready, prepared, so he became enlightened. Ever after he urged his friends, open your own treasure house and use the treasures. Everybody please go back to your houses. Open your own house that is full of treasures. You and the family together. That treasure can be successful only if you together sit with your wife and husband. You take baths together, eat food together. When you eat food like the Japanese, you pour the tea to the guest, and the guest will pour into you. Like that, you make sure that as a man, you take the food and put it into your wife's mouth, and the wife will put it into your mouth, and you together put it into children's mouth. First practice that, then you can see the treasure house. The moment you don't link, the gap, communication gap happens, and in that gap the water enters and destroys in that gap the devil enters. That devil is your disease, that devil is a confusion, that chaos. In that chaos and confusion, you go outside begging for your job, begging for an answer. You go to the schools and colleges asking for an answer, when you have your own answer if you practice 1,000 times. This is my 371st Smart Talks.